Well, in today's health alert, influenza continues to circulate at high levels in Michigan. Thank you for staying with us. I'm Brian Abel.
And I'm Glenda Lewis. Given that it's late in the flu season, some may be wondering whether it's still worthwhile to get that flu shot.
Our chief health editor, Dr. Parthan Andy, is here to answer that. So, Doc, flu viruses, they usually hit hardest in the winter. So as we move closer to spring, is it worth it? Does it still make sense to get a flu shot?
And patients are always asking me, what's going on, doc? You know, and here's my answer when they ask me that. If there's any flu activity happening, it's definitely not too late to get the flu shot. Here in Michigan, we have not yet plateaued, which is not a good thing. Cases are still climbing, and the CDC's flu activity map shows our state as quote unquote very high for influenza. Looking at Michigan's weekly influenza report, get this, just over 8,800 outpatient visits in the week ending March 2nd were due to influenza-like illnesses. Most of the flu results reported were H1N1. That's a type of influenza A virus. And while you may think, hey, it's a little bit too late in the flu season to get the shot, there can be significant flu activity into the month of May. Believe it or not, the annual flu shot is your best defense against this virus. We've said it before. Estimates for this season show 41 to 44% effectiveness against hospitalization for adults and 52 to 61% for kids.
And I think that that's important there. It's not necessarily to prevent you from getting it, but to prevent it from being as strong as it otherwise could be. Is there any particular reason for where the rates are right now?
That's a good question, right? So according to the CDC, Brian, roughly 44.9% of adults and 50% of kids were vaccinated for the flu this season. Here in Michigan, though, about 25% of adults and 19% of kids got the vaccine. And that's pretty low in my opinion. The reluctance to get vaccinated could be due to the COVID-19 vaccine fatigue, right? But many people also think I'm healthy, so I don't need to get the flu vaccine because the flu has been around for a long time. People just accept it as part of life. But unfortunately, this flu can be serious and cause even death in healthy people. The CDC estimates we've had 310,000 hospitalizations and about 20,000 people have died. That's a lot. And 103 were pediatric patients, so including one here in Michigan. And sadly, almost 90% of the kids who died were not fully vaccinated. To me, that's really unacceptable. It's recommended that everyone 6 months or older get the yearly flu shot. Kids under the age of 8 get 2 doses, and if they've not had the shot before, I get one every year, and so do my kids. And that's because the flu vaccine can decrease the severity of illness, and it's very effective at preventing severe illness. Once again, I highly recommend getting vaccinated against the flu if you've not already done so. And again, as you said really well, is that it's not always just to get the flu, but to prevent the complications of hospitalizations and even death.
All right. Dr. Nandy, grateful as always for your expertise.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Of course.
If you have a health question for the doctor, you can email him, Dr. Nandy, at askdrnandy.com, or send it to us on Facebook or Twitter. Glenda?